Hi, BonBon here. Regulars to the channel will already know that I have announced there are going to be some major changes in 2023. And that's what this monologue is going to be all about. It's going to explain everything which is changing, everything which is staying, what you can expect from the channel, and more importantly, why. If you don't want to sit here because you've seen how long this monologue is and you've gone, oh my, I'm not sitting around for all of that, that's fine. There will, at some point, not yet, I've got lots to do yet, but there will at some point be a new welcome video which will explain everything in a bite-sized chunk. It'll explain everything apart from why. And if you're wondering why your favourite show has just disappeared, you will need to be watching this. I'll try not to be boring. I'll try and cut to the chase, but there is a lot to cover, and I don't want to just skimp over anything. So let's go right to why. Why are things happening now? Why am I changing things now? Well, in 3 years' time, my life is going to change massively. And I need to start prepping towards that point. Now, in 3 years' time, the lease, or just over 3 years' time, the lease on my existing business property is going to come to an end. And because the market has changed massively in the last 16 years since I started trading here, there is no real reason for me to carry on. I have tried switching the market. I have done all the correct businessy things. I've tried the online. I've tried the social media. And I haven't had the luck. Some of it always comes down to luck. I've done everything right. People said, you should do this. You need to get onto Facebook. You need to get onto Twitter. You need to do this. Yeah, I did all that. I stopped to the point when people started saying, you need to get onto Instagram. Yeah, I do. And I also need to do the Facebook. I also need to do the Twitter. I also need... No. I have accepted that it's not going to happen for me. The sort of business that I'm in anyway, it doesn't really work online. It does sort of. People like the idea. People love the idea of it, but people don't use it. And there be the thing. So anyway, three and a half years' time, I'm going to be looking to earn my money somewhere else, somehow else. And ideally, I would like that to be as a full-time YouTuber. I accept, however, that if I continue doing things as I am right now, that's not going to happen. Now, I'm not a popularist style video creator. I'm not your Mr. Beast, okay? I'm not going to be producing Logan Paul style content. And even if I did, would anybody watch? I doubt it. I have the most of my success in a niche within a niche. It's one particular computer game and it's maps. I do make tutorials, and tutorials are a big driver for the channel, but it's a niche within. There's a limited amount of growth, but there is growth to be had, and I haven't really seen any there hasn't been an increase in my average video views for 3 years now. My subscriber base keeps increasing, and these people are going, oh, subscribe to that channel, and they do. And then I don't get any more views for it. So that is that's the thing. So in 3 years' time, my life's going to change. Now, either I can be a full-time YouTuber, which requires me probably growing 5 to 10-fold, this is YouTube. You can do that in a month. if you hit viral and that kind of thing, you can do that. You can do that in a month. But if that doesn't happen, I'm probably going to end up working for somebody else in a proper job. And that will require me almost certainly having to commute. And now, a best case scenario is I'll have a 15-minute walk there, a 15-minute walk back. So that will be half an hour of my day. 5 days a week, 2.5 hours of my week will be gone just going to and from work, like a normal person. All right? That is the best case scenario. Medium case scenario, it might be a half hour there, half hour back. That'd be an hour a day, 5 hours a week. Maybe 2 to 3 hours a day of traveling, like some people. And some people do more, I know. One way or another, though, I'm going to have less time for video making if I get a job working for somebody else. And if there's less time for video making, then this channel's going to be cut right back. I don't want to do that. I enjoy doing it. I enjoy being BonBonB. So what needs to change is the channel now. Try give it a chance to grow to a point that I'm making enough money from the channel to say, do you know what, I'm going to keep this going, and I'll be able to invest my full-time day into making video content. So that's why it's happening. Right. Let's start off with something that isn't going to change. Something that's not changing. Well, something that's changing just slightly, and that is again down to time. If you're a fan of the chart show or the Skylines Top 20, whichever name you want to give it, that will stay. It's recorded on a Saturday. It's uploaded for a Sunday morning, with the one exception of this week, which it was recorded on the Saturday, but because I already had 2 shows up on Christmas Day, I held it back to Boxing Day. The chart show, there's going to be no change. I think it's probably, for me, the most important. It's the only show that I watch later on. It's a chart show. It just, there's so much content in there from things that have slipped off the workshop that you don't even realise was on the workshop. And you go, oh man, that's a really cool thing. And you can use it in your city. I think it's just the best thing that I do. It's the only one that I actually use in the future, and therefore it stays. The one part of the chart show that is going to go is the bit that's becoming more and more time consuming. And that is the Hall of Fame. Now, I know that's going to really hurt for a few of you, where you're going to go, oh man, I love the Hall of Fame. Well, yeah, I love the Hall of Fame. And in an ideal world, I would keep doing the Hall of Fame. It's just becoming more and more time consuming to maintain the database. Now, I keep a spreadsheet every single week, and so as I put the show together, I have a list of all the assets, and then the creators, they go, right, you're in 20th place, you score 1 point. I then go to switch the Hall of Fame page on the spreadsheet, and I go, right, okay, Smiley's in 20th place, 1 point for Smiley, and then I'll add the point to their column, and then I'll go to the next one. And I do that 20 times. It doesn't take long. It certainly didn't take long, say 3 years ago, when there were far fewer people in the list. See, the spreadsheet list has got long. When there were 50 people on the list, most of that would appear on the screen in one chunk. I might have to give the mouse wheel a quarter of a spin just to get to the Zs, you know? Now there's over 100 people in the Hall of Fame alone, and about another 400 people outside of the Hall of Fame. About 500 people. It's now getting to the point that it's almost quicker for me to find a name in the list by Control F, typing in their name, and it jumps to their name. And doing that 20 times over for a part of the show that isn't key to the show, it's not critical. It's a lot of work. And that is going to become even more every single show where there's 2 or 3 more new creators going into that list. That list gets longer, and it just takes longer and longer and longer to maintain. Now, I would maintain it if I felt that the creator community really longed to fight their way into the Hall of Fame. And there are a few. Certainly a couple of people that have contacted me directly to say, oh, I can't believe I made the Hall of Fame. Thank you so much. Well, don't thank me. I'm just maintaining a mass database. Thank you for creating such consistent good stuff to be able to get into the Hall of Fame. So maybe I would say the middly creators who are also followers of the channel, maybe they are aspiring to get into the Hall of Fame, and I'm glad they have been rewarded with that in the final closing credits. But the likes of Smileys, Revo, and so forth, the big names. First of all, do they even know I exist? Secondly, do they care that their name is like highlighted in a flashing scroll at the end of a weekly show? I doubt it. I sincerely doubt it. Do they feel that they need my approval? I doubt it. So it's not really seen as like an Emmy or an Oscar. It's not even like a what's the like Billboard? Is it not Billboard Hall of Fame? Who is it in who is it in America who does all the music Hall of Fame? It's not like I know it's nothing. It's one dude sat in the cold room recording some footage and basically blubbering on for 4 minutes 4 seconds once a week. Yeah, I don't really feel that those creators don't care. I would say it's just the tryhards and the middly creators and the ones that have been, uploading assets for a while and they're getting 2 or 3 points per asset, and then they get one that gets them 15, and that puts them over the edge. Yeah, that's great for them, but it's a lot of work, and I don't really feel it adds anything. So the Hall of Fame will go. It will free me up a few minutes every show. It'll free me up a bit of stress as well, because the OCD, I've got to keep doing this, I've got to keep doing this, I've got to keep doing this. I can stop doing this. By saying it now out loud, I can stop doing it. So the chart show will stay, the Hall of Fame is going. I'll replace that with the Patreon list so that, you can get, the BonBonBuddy supporters will get a little bit of extra recognition. Right, okay, so that's something that's staying. What about something that's going? Well, this is going to be a bit of a surprise for you. If you look at my regular shows on the channel, you'll go, oh, that always does really well. Why? Why are you axing it? Well, I'm axing it, but I'm replacing it with something that hopefully will be as good in terms of views. The Viewer's Choice Top 10. Now, there's a bit of a problem with it. And the problem isn't the amount of time it takes to record. I don't mind, actually. I really don't mind. It's for the amount of views on average. Let's say a poorly viewed Viewer's Choice Top 10 will get, say, 4,000 views. And then there are a few bit below that. A well-watched one will get about 10,000 views, and there are a few above it. But on average, you'd say you're talking 4,000 to 10,000. If we say 7,000 as an average, it's not a very good average to give, because you can take any selection, but 4,000 to 10,000 is realistic. 4,000 to 10,000 views every single month brings people in. And so why would I stop doing it? Well, I'm not going to completely stop doing it, but in its current format, it's going to go, because for me, the show has lost credibility. And it's lost credibility, and you sit down now. Sit down. It's lost credibility because of you. Okay? Don't cry. No. When I say you, I mean, broadly speaking, the viewer community. When we turn back the clock, say 3 years, a highly viewed, popular map may get as many as 70 votes, there or thereabouts. Shall we say, I don't want to use the word trash, but let's use the word trash. A trash map that doesn't deserve much recognition. Maybe it was voted in, maybe it was a request map, and it's not very good. Maybe that would have got about 35 views. So the viewer's choice was a selection of people between 35 and 70. On average, 50 to 55, I think, was the going numbers. Excuse me. Anyway, that's dropped, and it's dropped a lot. Despite me, every single show doing the spiel, and currently, because there's 2 votes on every map at the moment, currently doing it twice per show. Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Hit the I button now, or the link in the description. It'll take you to the voting page where you can vote for free, but make sure you're voting on the correct map, because there are 2 maps to vote on. I'm not reading that. That is lodged in my head. I've done it so often. I lay it on thick, because your vote really does count. Unfortunately, there's a lot of just apathy now. Now, I know that's not everybody. I know there's a few of you there really upset with me going, but I always do. Yes, you do. And there's about 19 people just like you. I think there is a core community of about 20 viewers who will pretty much always vote. And honestly, my heart goes out and I thank you. It's you guys that have kept the viewer's choice going for as long as it has. That core community of about 20. On a highly watched show, a really popular map, and those maps will always get more views because, again, you're more inspired to vote on a map that makes you go, wow, than you are on a map that makes you go, oh, is it a 3 or is it a 2 or is it a 4? Yeah, if you look at a map and you go, wow, that's amazing, then you're more likely to want to give it 5 stars. That's an easy decision to make. And maybe you won't give a poor map 1 star because you don't want to feel mean. So yeah, the better maps will get more views. On top of that, of course, there are going to be on the better maps. It's like, hey, John, could you vote on my map on BonBon Show because I want to get up in the viewer's choice at the end of the month? There's a bit of that goes on. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. It's perfectly valid. It happens. The thing though is and it's a big thing, when you've got, say, 50 people voting, if you get one person who switches between, I don't know if this gets 3 stars or 4 stars. 3 stars, I'm going to give it 4 stars. It makes a small percentage change. A very small percentage change. Because there are 50 people voting and you're making a 1-star variation. When you're getting down to the numbers we're looking at now, let's look at the lowest that I've seen recently, and that was one particular map. Yeah, again, it was one of the weaker maps that we've seen. It got 12 people vote on it for the viewer's choice. 12. Out of hundreds of viewers, 12 people bothered to vote. Now, if you... Ooh, motorbike. Thank you, needed that. So yeah, if you are one of those 12 viewers and you're trying to decide, is this 3 stars or is it 4 stars? That single decision can affect the score by 3%. So you're going from, it could be a 40% or it could be a 43%, based on your small decision. It shouldn't make that much of a difference. On top of that, you can multiply that by, if it's a 1-star map and then the creator comes along and goes, I'm giving it my map 5 stars, and you do, you can affect your score by 12% when there are only 12 viewers. Those sort of numbers really are troubling for me. There just aren't enough people voting at the end of the show of what map to really give the viewer's choice credibility. It's not viewer's choice, it's a handful of people's choice. And it's corruptible because of it. I do keep an eye on the voting just to make sure that there isn't any corruption. And occasionally there's some clear corruption, and I'm able to do something about it, and I discard those votes. And yeah, I have done that. It doesn't happen very often, but it has happened, and you can expect it to happen. But yes, when we are down to just 20 people, basically, 1,000 views on WhatsApp, a regular WhatsApp, say 1,000 views, 20 of those 1,000 people vote, and then at the end of the month, their vote, making that, say, the map of the month, is then watched by 10,000 people who go, well, this is community voted. 10,000 people are relying on what turns out to be just 20 people. Credibility for me on the viewer's choice has gone. So it has to go, which hurts me because for me, I really did like the idea of that community chart. It has more credibility for me, or it had more credibility for me than the Steam chart, because the Steam chart is basically a popularity show and how good's your thumbnail. Whereas with this, we have the full review. You get to see what I see. You get to see the map in full and without having to open it up. And you get a bit of feedback from me, and it's more of an educated vote, I would say. Anyway, it's going, but it is being replaced. And it's going to be replaced with a best maps of the month. I don't know what I'm calling the show yet, but it's going to be replaced with the best maps of the month. It's going to be a BonBon select. A bit like the end of the year map of the year series where I get to choose the best maps of the year. I'll be able to pick out the best maps of the month and highlight them. So it's going to be a bit different. The approval rating thing's going to be gone, clearly. So that's all coming to an end. This month's Viewer's Choice will be the last one with approval ratings. And I'll probably do a show at some point in the early year with the using the viewers, the approval ratings from the previous Viewer's Choice to say, and here are the best Viewer's Choice maps of all time. I've got stats I can do things like that with. So maybe you can look forward to something like that coming. Don't hold me to it. I've got a lot of things for the new year that I want to be cracking on with, but that might be one that happens. Excuse me. So Viewer's Choice is going, which means the viewer's vote is going from WhatsMap. But that's not the only thing that's changing with WhatsMap. So let's look at WhatsMap. WhatsMap, a typical review. Let's take a review that's really quick and easy to do. Let's say it's a map which doesn't really have any content. There's hardly any detailing. We can do a flyover and basically you've seen everything. Even a map like that takes about 2 hours in total. From the booting up of the game to the recording of the flyover to the editing, the narrating, the adding in the effects, all that kind of stuff. With the viewers' ratings at the end, all of that would take about 2 hours. Oh, and then the rendering. So all of that takes about 2 hours on a short review. On a complex review, a map which is made by a top creator, a big detailer, that can take me about 4 hours. And even then I might not get everything in, because after about 4 hours, bear in mind I'm doing this every single day, there's a certain amount of hours in an evening that somebody can give up to sitting down recording a review. And so that might be why if you said, you've seen your review, go, he didn't show the castle. Yeah, I kind of was running out of time in the evening. So anyway, the WhatsMap review, anything from about 2 to 4 hours is realistic. On average, I would say it's probably a little bit under 3 hours per review. But if I say 3 hours, I'm not lying. Really, it's there or thereabouts. Especially when you add in any social mediaing afterwards, because that is part of the time spent on the map. It just like the post-production stuff. So 3 hours per review, 6 reviews a week, 18 hours a week spent sitting down doing map reviews, which is fine if money isn't an issue, which money is going to become an issue. Now, I'm still doing it because I love doing it. I'm not doing it because of money. I've done, 1,590 shows. I've lost track now. 1,590 something shows now. I wouldn't have done all of those if I was money driven. Money helps. Money really does help. And they all bring in a bit, and it all adds up a little bit. It doesn't add up to anywhere near enough for me to be able to live on. Even a level of poverty, I couldn't continue. It's not standalone, right? So WhatsMap is very time consuming for what I get back from it. I enjoy doing it, but it has to change. And something happened this year which really has helped me to notice that I can change it. And that is Treasure Hunt. Now, those of you that have been watching Treasure Hunt will know it's a live show. We do flyover reviews of maps on that show, which would never get a WhatsMap review because they have no thumbnail, they have no description. They are probably, and quite often are, fully awful. But we never say that in the show. We never say that in the show because we are trying to support these creators. They could be young, they could have dementia, they could be drunk, they could be stoned. There's a million reasons why these maps may be no good. Mostly, it's probably just people that just were tinkering about and then uploaded their work. So we're always kind in the comments. We're always kind in the chat. But what we have there is a show where I am basically doing reviews, looking for hidden gold. And no thumbnail, no description map, could still be the best map ever. We're digging away in the workshop trying to find the best map ever that is hidden by somebody who doesn't know how to do a decent upload, i.e. give it some good thumbnails. So anyway, that's the whole point of the show. We have found a couple that were okay. Found one that was very interesting and entertaining. And I found a whole bunch of ones which we are able to chuckle about and find ways of maybe making them a little bit better. So a live review is possible. And What's Map is, I think, going to have to go live. Now, that might excite a few of you. It excites me a little bit. I'm going to have to do a little bit of work behind the scenes, making the effects, because I want to be able to I want it to feel still like What's Map does now, but with a few button presses to make these effects pop up, like it's my first map. Be great if I could press a button and that would just pop up. Currently, that is edited in post-production. In fact, how I record it will be something along the lines of, let's say I'm getting up to the point I'm saying, and of course there's one other thing, and that of course is... That's right. And then I edit in the "It's my first map" after my pregnant pause there. I feel ridiculous doing it, but I can hear the voice in my head. And so, yeah, it's me. And usually when I'm chuckling afterwards, it's because I'm laughing at myself being an idiot rather than laughing at little Sam's voice there. Anyway, I've got some setting up to do to make it work, but I can make it work, and I'm sure I will. So, yeah, great, live What's Map. When's it going to be live? Honestly, don't know right now. I can't give you an exact answer to that right now. It'll probably have to be an evening, because evenings are probably better. A UK evening won't necessarily fit very well for American viewers, but of course, the best thing with live shows on YouTube is they stay, and you can watch them retrospectively. You can watch them as live in the future. The only thing you'll miss out on is the ability to respond into the chat, but the comments will still, like we have the comments now, we still will have the comments then. I will do one review per show, and we will start with the big focal point will be the top performing map of the moment, as we always do on a Monday. I doubt it'll be a Monday. It'll probably be something like a Friday by the time this is all set up. Again, I will work out schedules at some point. But yeah, the top performing map of the moment will be the big one, the focal one, and the one that everybody can sit down and watch as a big family together. But the other 5, I am going to throw behind the paywall. Ow, I'm sorry. Don't worry. Hey, listen. Don't worry. Don't stop just yet, because I have got a little bonus for you, for you that has just gone. Yeah, I have got it. Don't worry. You're not going to miss out. I promise. You're not going to miss out. It's going behind the paywall, so it'll be the live shows for the other 5 weekly reviews will be exclusive for BonBonBuddies on Patreon and on YouTube membership. That will be at the $2 a month level. So for your $2 a month, you're going to be getting approximately 20 exclusive reviews as live, which is what, 10 cents per review to US cents. I think that's good value. I think that is very, very good value. Again, for the amount of time that is invested putting into it, I think that's good value. Now, you don't think it's good value? That's fine. That's okay. Because if you look back, way back, and I at some point remember saying, What's Map is free, and it will always be free. And I'm not a hypocrite. I want it to be free. But I also want it to be something that maybe can drive new viewers to the channel. And so, What Map will continue as a cinematic special once a week. What I'll do at the end of each live review, which I obviously be sharing with you live, is I'll record cinematics of each map. And then at the end of the week, after we've got all the cinematics together, again, I can't tell you what day this will be going out on because I haven't quite got that far down the path, I will compile a cinematics compilation, I'll go with compilation, of all the maps of the week, including the ratings that we give them at the end of the show. So you're still going to get an overview of the maps that were reviewed that week. You're still going to see the ratings that each map got for that week. It will be condensed down to maybe something like a 10-minute show once a week. It'll be easier to watch. You won't have to deal with me going, everybody's favourite factory, or any of that. BonBon Bingo becomes history, clearly. But it'll be a condensed, concise, these were the maps that we reviewed this week. You'll get a quick overview of how nice they were or not nice they were, depending on your opinions. But if you want the actual review process where we go down and maybe check for, is this broken? Is this working? What's the water flow like? Because I won't be able to show water flow in the cinematics. Well, I could, but then we're going back to full reviews, So if you want to see the water flows, you want to see the shipping routes, you want to see best practice on how to put a map together, then you're probably going to want to become a BonBonBuddy. And I'm not going to lie about the one show that I'm doing live a week. That is a gateway show to try and get a few extra people across as BonBonBuddies as well. So if you can see one show a week and you watch that one show and you go, I like this, you can then subscribe to become a BonBonBuddy, or you can look at that one show a week and go, I don't like this, and then you don't want to become a BonBonBuddy. It's basically the freebie. It's the freebie that lets you know whether or not you want to see the other five shows a week. And the one that you're seeing for free is hopefully the good map because it's the top performing map. So I'm giving you the freebie. I'm making sure it's the good one. I'm then showing you at the end of the week all of the others in a cinematic extravaganza. But if you want the access to the live process of checking the maps out and actually reviewing them, that's what's going to be behind the paywall on What Map. I haven't exactly thought of how I'm going to name and number these ones. I've got no idea how this is going to work. I probably will continue with the live shows as a continuation of the scoring like we're 1592, I think now. So the first live one will probably be 1593, 1594. The weekly one, I don't know what I'm going to call it yet, but I'm going to come up with something. Best maps of the week. I don't think even best maps of the week works because it's just a random selection, and some of them will be the older maps that have been voted in to be reviewed that week, and we'll have a request map that's been on the list for 6 months and so on. So I don't know what we'll call it, but we'll come up with something. Anyway, so that means that if I'm doing live reviews, let's say we've got a really complex map. One of the highly detailed, an Anapu map, let's go with an Anapu map, and it's the best work they've ever done, and it takes us an hour to look at it in detail. At the end of that hour, I stop going live, I record some cinematics. I reckon a highly complex map I will be able to be done and dusted with in about 90 minutes. That is compared to 4 hours on the old system. On the current system. A regular map, probably about half an hour. Half an hour for us to zoom in, look around the map, just check for the detailing and make sure it works. Maybe do a little test build if we're not sure if it's going to work. All those kind of bits and bobs. I reckon about half an hour. Add in the cinematics, maybe 40 minutes, maybe something like that. And that's coming down from 2 to 3 hours to 40 minutes. This is freeing up a lot of time. And that is time that can and will be invested into the real driver for the channel, the real thing that brings people to the channel more than anything else, and something that I have really slipped on badly. And again, a lot of that is because of my 2022 year of hell, where I just have been I've been going from day to day. YouTube has kept me going, and thank you for that. You guys, thank you so much for that one. YouTube is what has kept me going. It's given me purpose. It's given me stability. It's given me routine. But yeah, 2022 was awful by anybody's imagination. And so I am I'm looking forward to 2023, and I'm really looking forward to getting some tutorials made. Now, I know that a good BonBonB tutorial is a very good tutorial. I've made some duff ones, like anybody else, but I know that if I spend time and energy putting a tutorial together, generally they are good tutorials. I've got the where were we? I've got a point. Oh yes, the map making tutorial, the 10-part map making tutorial, which was anticipated going out in the summer of this last year gone, and I got as far as scripting the first 3 episodes, and it's all about scripting. Really is all about scripting. I got to the first 3 episodes scripted, and then Mum got sick, and of course I was going through continuous break-ins and burglaries at the time as well, so it kind of fizzled down. In the last month, I have scripted 4 episodes in the last month, and I'm now 3 episodes away from having the entire series scripted. Now you could say, well, why don't you just get on and make episode 1 or episode 2? Reason being, the entire series could be one show. I want it to be everything that you need to know. And there might be things when I get to episode 10, I finish recording episode 10, I might go, actually, that thing that I've just spoken about would work much, much better in episode 4 with all the stuff that covers there. Because I haven't scripted it yet, I don't know that there might be some bits that need to be shunted about. So I'm scripting the entire series first, and then once that is scripted, that is half of the work done. And I know it's taken me a year to get to this point, but it's half of the work done. And then putting the actual tutorials together, it's just a question of sitting down and editing, recording my voice, and then editing footage to work with the voice. I reckon I could probably do one of those a week if I have the time. And if I have the time, is going to be a thing that can happen when I'm not spending an extra 2 hours a day recording a WhatsApp review, because we're doing it as live. Tutorials are coming, and I'm hyped. They are very good for bringing new people into the channel. Most of my most watched videos are tutorials. Some of them are into the hundreds of thousands of views. Look at the best watched WhatsApp. Don't take the best one, because that was artificially high, but the second best watched WhatsApp, you know, we're talking, yeah, just small fry compared to tutorials. So that is the plan. Anyway, that is the plan. Also in 2023, be very early on in 2023, another thing I've been put back for about 18 months now, this one. And I apologise to Uncle Ron for this one, but it is happening, and it is happening as of early January. A special collaboration. If you've ever seen a collaboration map build, where it's usually, I think the first ones I remembered was the Flux Trance Strict Toaster Fresh Popcorn, and then it was Flux Trance Strict Toaster Bisquickelhausen. And since then, we've seen other collaborations between other creators, and we have the global collaboration, and you see all these collaborations, and you go, wow, this is all amazing. It is. But they are amazing creators. We're talking about the creme de la creme de la creme of creators. And it's very inspiring to watch them work and see what they do. And we can steal ideas from them. That's what it's all about. That is what it is all about. Being inspired by other creators. Would you like to take part in the collaboration? Well, you think, well, I'd like to, but I'm not good enough. What if I told you you were good enough? What if I told you I have a collaboration where there are dozens and dozens of available slots for people to take part? You go, yeah, but I don't have the DLC. Doesn't matter. Really doesn't matter. Oh, I have got a potato for a computer. Doesn't matter. If you are, at best, a moderate creator in your own mind, you've just about mastered the basics. That's fine. All you need to do is have the will to have a go and become part of a collaboration. There will be a video coming along in the early new year at some point, which will be everything that you need to know. So now's a good time. If you got this far into the video, you probably are already subscribed. But now's a good time to subscribe if you're interested in being part of a collaboration with dozens of people in a system that I think everybody's going to be able to do their own thing. It should be a lot of fun. It should be a lot of fun. And that'll be coming again sometime early in the new year. Things that are not going to happen again. I'd like to apologise to anybody who got really stressed by the constant World Cup predictors. Okay, that was my last stab at trying to get the channel to organically take off in its current format. The idea was, it didn't work. The idea was, these are the sort of videos that could go viral currently. The World Cup was present and correct and current, and this was quirky and different and the sort of thing that it wouldn't have surprised me if all of these videos had got millions of views. It also didn't surprise me that most of them didn't get many views at all. It did surprise me a little bit that even with 17,500 subscribers on YouTube, I also uploaded these videos to TikTok, a brand new account where I had absolutely 0 followers, and of the 63 videos that I ended up uploading, one I didn't in the end, the third place playoff, of the 63 videos that I uploaded to both YouTube and TikTok, only one got more views on YouTube, with 17,500 subscribers, compared to a brand new fresh account where I didn't have a single follower. Only one. And even that was, I think it was about 12 views difference between the two. And then you look at the TikTok, and even with no followers, I was getting usually double, triple, even triple, quadruple, and even more. Some of them went into the thousands of views, where on YouTube we're talking, if you got a couple of dozen views, I was doing well. That directly affected my actual channel views. I lost a few subscribers to people going, oh, this shit, get rid of it. Don't blame you, but having spent 40 hours putting the entire series together, I was determined to give it, I needed to give it one last go. Had this brought in tens of thousands of new subscribers, which it could have done, then the changes that I'm making now wouldn't have had to have happened, because my views would have spiked and maybe the algorithms would have started really pushing me along and I would be seeing some sort of incremental growth. As it is, it did the opposite, and it actually hit me in the you-know-wheres on the channel. And so it was a lesson learnt. Quirky, doesn't work. Just doesn't work at all. But listen, I gave it a go. You can't fault me for doing it. And it was a way of maybe saving WhatsApp in its current format. Because I like the current format. Don't think I'm getting rid of it because I don't like it. I like it. But it's got to change if I'm going to make the channel grow. And to make the channel grow, I'm going to have to focus on tutorials. And to focus on tutorials, I am absolutely having to rehash everything. So, in terms of becoming a BonBonBuddy, what have we got? Well, I'm going to have to restructure the levels a little bit, but generally speaking, there's going to still be, with Patreon, there is a $1 entry level, and that's just to get your name into the credits and to vote on the map, basically. And I appreciate every subscriber over there as well, so thank you so much, regardless of what level you're at. For the $2, that will now give you the access to the schedule show, but also the live What maps. So for $2 a month, and that will be, that's not just with the on Patreon, but also YouTube membership. $2 a month will get you access to live What map and to my weekly schedule show. There's a $7 level, which is an archaic number. You know, why $7? That's a weird number. It's an archaic number. I'm not going to go into why it exists, but it existed for a reason. That reason is now obsolete, but I'm going to leave it in place because it's just kind of a midpoint number, I guess. And that $7 is going to get you early access for all of the tutorials and any specials, and there are going to be a lot of tutorials and specials coming in 2023, so you're going to be about a week ahead of the curve on all of the new videos that are coming out. And then there is the $12 one, and that's one where I was doing regular weekly Discord chats, and it got to the point that, sorry, monthly Discord chats, it got to the point that I'd go into Discord and nobody would turn up. I think everybody that wanted to talk to me had. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch the monthly claim to, listen, you've got the hotline, which is the like a DM. You could use a DM to message me and say, hey, BonBon, can I have 10 minutes of your time? And you can get a one-on-one chat with me in a private Discord server. And I don't mind. I'm more than happy, especially on if you're paying me $12 a month. Of course, I would love to talk to you and maybe answer a question or two. So, so those are the levels. I don't expect everybody to spend $12 a month. Why would you? Why would you? I mean, is there anybody I would spend $12 a month on? I'm thinking aloud now. Actually, there is one. Actually, I'm thinking there is one I'm spending $10 a month on. But that's actually not Patreon. That's something different. So you know what? I'm going to say it's not OnlyFans, just before anybody sticks that in the comments. It just suddenly dawned on me not wanting to digress too much personal information. I'm going to tell you right now. But yeah, anyway, you know where I'm coming from. Yeah, I don't expect. All I want is the $2 support would be absolutely amazing. That will get you access to all of those What maps. It'll get you access to the schedule show. All the current What maps are still going to be free to view. They always will be. It's just the new live ones which are going to be just hidden away a little bit. And your support is going to be gratefully accepted if you can. The worst case scenario, even if I don't get any more financial support, i.e. BonBonBuddies, it's still going to free up the time to actually make all these new tutorials. And the new tutorials will be a driver of new subscribers, and new subscribers should equal more views to the channel, and more views to the channel should equal more financial revenue from YouTube advertising. And hopefully in the next 3 years we can get this channel to a point that it stands alone and I can become a full-time YouTuber. Whether it happens or not, I don't know, but we're going to give it a go, and it has to be tried, and now is the time. So anyway, I've been waffling for way too long, what, 3/4 of an hour plus. So everything is there. Everything is out and in the open. The whys, the wherefores, and the hows are all there. I've got to make a new welcome video at some point, which just highlights all the highlights, so that people that have skipped right to the end or just skip the video completely, they can get the information they need there as well. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching, for commenting, for liking, and for subscribing, and for being a BonBonBuddy. If you're a BonBonBuddy, I've been BonBonB. You have been very, very welcome, and I'll see you again very, very soon. Thanks for listening.